Okay, so I just thought I'd do a user review of the Sena SMH10 Bluetooth intercom system for motorcycles. Bit of a mouthful, but the reason why I want to do this video is because both myself and Dave, we've used them twice now on trips into Thailand, and both of us think they're excellent, well worth the money. And if you're in a group, or at least two of you, and you want to have something extra, an extra experience when you're riding, then the intercom system is, I would say, almost a must-have. You know, if you can afford it, it's like $260 US for a pair, which is not too much, and it just makes the ride so much enjoyable because, one, it's really easy to use. So if I do a close-up, you can see the size is, it looks quite bulky, but you don't notice it once you're riding at all. And it's really easy to use because it's got this thing called a jog dial, which is essentially the volume control, and it's also a push button. So as you press it, that's one of the controls. And the other control really is a phone button. It's only used for turning it on and off and answering phone calls. So most of the functions of the intercom are really via this jog dial, so it's really easy. So the features of the actual unit are, one, obviously you can talk to other riders. Really simple to do. Once you've paired the units together, you just click the jog dial once, or up to 4 times. So you can link up to 4 of these things together, and clicking once will get you in contact with the first one you've paired it to, twice, the second, 3 times, the third. And the other cool feature is that you can conference call. You can conference call up to 4 of these units all together. It's a bit of a messy sort of method of doing it. You can't just, like, one person controls everything. Everybody seems to have to sort of join separately, but in theory you can have up to 4 people.
But I think one of the best features, aside from the fact that it's relatively easy to install, we install these right when we arrive.
Yep.
Into Thailand. You just run the wiring behind, underneath the earpiece, if you can get that.
Yep.
Mine just sits in there, it just velcros in, just sits there quite nicely. The microphone tucks in here, it's very non-intrusive. It doesn't pick up much wind noise.
No.
Up to we've probably got up to about 115, 120 kilometers an hour, and it's not intrusive at all. And of course, the greatest thing is it syncs with your iPhone, Bluetooth, and you can play music. So, and the music plays. You can just set it so the music plays when you're not talking, and then when you talk, it just nicely interrupts the music, and you talk to the other person, and then you go back to music, which is actually quite nice. So, yeah, I think this is a very worthy investment. It adds a lot of value to our trips, I think. Otherwise it would be hours of kind of just you singing to yourself.
Yep.
Whereas in this case, you can actually communicate. You can decide when to pull over. You know, if there's something interesting, of course, hazards as well. If you're
something funny happens along the way.
You see some chickens,
stupid stories.
Exactly. You can have a full-on philosophical conversation as you're driving.
Which we have.
Providing, of course, you're focused on the road. Yeah. So, yeah, these are well worth the money. I haven't compared it personally to anything else on the market, but this is a high-quality product.
Yeah.
And I've been very satisfied with these.
Excellent. Yeah. So one of the cool features that Dave just spoke about is the ability to connect to your mobile phone. Also, if you have a GPS which is Bluetooth enabled, it will link to that as well. So it can give you, obviously, I've got a Garmin GPS and it has turn by turn, but I can't hear it. But if I bought the Bluetooth version, I would hear each of those instructions. It would just override, even if I was listening to music, talking to you or whatever. So it's really a good, neat piece of gear for any sort of motorcyclist who likes doing sort of a bit of touring. Prior to using these, we actually tried, walkie-talkies with throat mics, I think they were called.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Substandard.
It was rubbish.
But the other thing that's good about these is we're probably on the bikes for about six or 7 hours a day.
Yep.
And towards the end of the day, it's getting a little bit staticky because the battery's getting a little bit lower.
Yep.
But we probably had a conversation yesterday for at least an hour. with the mic just wide open for an hour.
Yep.
And even at the end of the day, we weren't out of battery.
No,
so
no.
you can feel comfortable in going out for a relatively long trip and just using it. You don't have to always be tapping it off in order to save a little battery.
No.
It lasts quite a while.
Yep. Yeah, so it's easy to install. I'll just show you the sort of the mount. Oh, sorry, it's a bit messy here, but let's see if I can take it off. Can you just hold that?
This is quite a professional recording we got going.
So as you can see, the unit is here. I'll just unclip the unit. So it clips into the mount. That's the unit itself. Pins. It's waterproof, so that's great for motorcycle riders. This is the standard mount. There's a couple. There's like the mounting system pushes in between the liner and the shell, and there's like a leaf which is then screwed in, which clamps it to the side of the helmet. So every helmet that I've tried, we've tried 4 different helmets, I think, and this clamping system is quite universal. It comes with a flexible boom, and obviously the speakers that Dave showed you before, which you can then mount within the earpiece. The great thing about the speakers is they're quite thick, so you can't really tell, but I've seen other systems and the speakers they use are very small. The sound quality is pretty good. For a helmet-mounted intercom, it is pretty good. I use earplugs and I still can get pretty good sound quality. Without earplugs, the quality is better, of course. Sena have different sort of mounts. You can buy this with plug-in speakers, so you can use your own earphones, plug-in microphones, so you don't necessarily need to use a mount. Boom mic you can have one which is wired, and this is November 2012, so this model's been around for a little while. The latest model that I've seen is almost like a stick-on. It's quite thin, it's about 6 or 7 millimeters thick. It sticks on, the battery's separate, and it doesn't look like this. It's a lot smaller. So for those, I'd think about that if I wanted to get another one. So because we generally just write 2 up, or not 2 up, but there's 2 of us. If we wanted to get a 3rd person, then I might consider buying another one. So I would use the new one, and then we could use this for somebody else.
Good point. So
that's pretty much it. That's a user's perspective of the Sena SMH10. Great little unit, $260 for a pair on eBay. Make sure you get the one that I think all the new ones, you can upgrade them via the USB port. The really old ones you couldn't, so make sure you get the ones which have the USB port on. And that's it.
Thank you.